Welcome back for another deep dive. This time, we're going to be exploring Le Bruit du Silence.
Ooh.
It's a really captivating true story told by Fred Leopold.
Okay.
And it's really fascinating because it's like a love story all intertwined with this kind of cultural exploration.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and there's even a touch of mystery to it, and I think what's so captivating about it is that it unfolds kind of like a novel,
Okay.
and we'll be focusing on the first part of it today.
Okay.
So when I was reading it, I was so drawn in by how intimate and personal his tone is.
It's like you're right there with him, huh?
Absolutely. And the backdrop of Haitian culture just adds this layer of richness that
Yeah.
makes you just want to keep turning the pages.
I bet.
So the story starts off with Fred on this seemingly ordinary evening.
Okay.
He's watching Titanic with his sister,
Okay.
but little does he know,
He's about to have his own.
his own love story is about to begin.
Right.
And it's actually his sister who introduces this fascinating character named Tinini, and she describes her as this divorced woman who's looking for love.
Hmm.
And his sister really paints her in this positive light,
Oh,
even using this Haitian proverb, Munkigenyen tempagenyen ku.
And what does that mean?
So it means that one cannot have everything at once.
Ah. Okay.
But it's interesting because that proverb, it kind of hints at this theme of balance and acceptance that we see throughout Fred's entire story.
Interesting.
It really makes you think about the choices that we all make in life.
Right.
And how sometimes you have to give something up to gain something else.
Yeah, you have to make compromises sometimes.
Now back to Fred. So he's intrigued by Tinini, especially because he's also divorced.
Okay.
But there's a sense of caution there, like a hesitancy that stems from past heartbreak.
Sure.
And we kind of get a glimpse into his thought process where he says he wants to give his eyes time to see, intelligence time to understand, and his heart time to listen.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
So he's taking his time.
He's very methodical about it.
Yeah.
You're right. He's approaching this with both his head and his heart.
Hmm.
But what's even more interesting is that his sister hasn't actually seen Tinini in over 30 years.
Wow. So they've never even met.
They've maintained this long-distance relationship primarily through phone calls,
Okay.
and their shared faith seems to have played a significant role in that.
That's beautiful, that connection that transcends time and distance.
Yeah, so true.
Yeah.
Eventually, Fred decides that he wants to take matters into his own hands.
Okay.
He wants to form his own opinion about Tinini, so he reaches out to her directly.
He wants to cut out the middleman.
Exactly. He wants that authenticity.
Yeah.
And he's so incredibly upfront with her.
Good.
He talks about his life, his children, his career, no sugarcoating.
That's good. Just puts it all out there.
And we find out that Tinini has also been asking about him, so
Okay.
the interest is mutual.
It's mutual, yeah.
And when Tinini describes her life, she uses the phrase work, family, church.
Oh, wow.
So it suggests this really structured existence.
Yeah, like very traditional.
Yeah.
So it begs the question then how someone like Fred, who embraces maybe a less conventional path, will fit in.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
Definitely sets the stage for some interesting dynamics.
For sure.
And then comes the turning point. Tinini suggests that they meet in Miami,
Oh, nice.
and she wants him to meet her family.
Oh, wow. So the stakes are getting higher.
Right. And to add another layer of complexity to it, we find out that Tinini's son is actually in prison.
Oh, wow.
But Fred doesn't let that deter him. He's very supportive.
What a guy.
And then comes the moment of truth. Fred arrives in Miami,
Okay.
and he's apprehensive.
Understandably so.
He's anxious.
Yeah.
He even uses a quote to describe his anxiety, which I won't spoil for you.
Okay.
But then he sees Tinini, and she's radiant, dressed in these vibrant colors,
Wow.
and she gives him this warm embrace.
The way he describes it, it sounds like such a beautiful moment.
It is, you can feel the connection.
Yeah.
But then things get a little complicated when they start visiting the family.
Uh-oh.
So Tinini's mother is welcoming,
Okay, that's good.
but her brother-in-law is a different story.
Oh, no.
He goes by the nickname Mr. Clean.
Mr. Clean. Okay.
Yeah, so Mr. Clean tries to intimidate Fred,
Oh, no.
giving off this vibe of suspicion and disapproval.
Interesting.
And Fred's brother even gives him a nickname.
Really? That's funny.
It's pretty fun.
So it sounds like he's going to be an obstacle.
He might be,
Okay.
but thankfully not everyone is like Mr. Clean.
Okay.
The meeting with Tinini's brother, who's a pastor, is much more positive.
Oh, good.
Oh yeah, it's really nice.
That's nice.
But their time in Miami flies by,
I bet.
and they start making plans for the future.
Oh.
And then at this pivotal moment, Tanini gets a phone call
Uh-oh.
that leaves everything hanging in the balance.
What? So we got to wait until part 2 to find out.
You'll have to wait until part 2 to find out what happens.
I can't wait. So that phone call at the end, it really left us hanging.
It did.
What happens?
Well, the call was about Tanini's son,
Okay.
Eugene, who is in prison,
Right.
and he's eligible for parole,
Okay.
but he needs someone to vouch for him.
Wow, that's a big ask.
It is, but Fred agrees
Really?
to be his guarantor.
That's a big commitment, especially since, he's still getting to know Tinini and her family.
Right. It shows a lot about his character.
Yeah.
That he's willing to take that step.
He's putting action behind his words.
Exactly, and it has this ripple effect. So remember how some family members were skeptical of Fred?
Yeah, especially Mr. Clean.
Right. They questioned his intentions.
Right.
But his willingness to support Eugene, it changes everything.
Oh, wow.
It's like this key turning point.
Okay.
The family starts to see him in a new light.
They see he's sincere.
Exactly.
He's the real deal.
They recognize his sincerity and his care for Tinini.
Actions speak louder than words, right?
Absolutely. And from this point on, their relationship really blossoms.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, they start discussing marriage.
It seems like the natural progression
It does.
after all that.
And to solidify this newfound commitment, they decide to take a trip to Haiti.
Oh, wow. To meet the rest of the family.
So Fred can experience Tinini's homeland.
That's going to be an adventure.
It is. He's a mix of nerves and excitement.
I bet.
He even quotes this Haitian proverb
What is it?
that says, "Beyond mountains, more mountains."
Ooh, I like that.
It kind of speaks to their journey.
Yeah, like it's not over. There's always something else coming.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they arrive in Haiti, and Fred's just immediately struck by the natural beauty, like the lush landscapes and vibrant colors.
It's just a beautiful country.
It is, but he also acknowledges the complexities,
Okay.
like the poverty that exists there.
Right.
And throughout his experience, he really strives to understand Tanini's world.
Yeah.
He attends church services.
Oh,
He meets her extended family.
that's great.
And there's even this funny moment where he's trying to eat with his hands, which is the traditional way to eat.
I've done that. It's hard.
Yeah.
But you got to embrace it.
But just when it seems like things are going smoothly, we encounter another wave of turbulence.
Uh-oh. Is it Mr. Clean again?
It is. Mr. Clean starts spreading rumors about Fred,
Ugh, what a guy.
questioning his intentions and suggesting that he's not good enough for Tanini.
Classic Mr. Clean.
It creates tension
Yeah, of course.
and suspicion, especially among some of the older family members.
Makes sense.
But in this pivotal moment, Fred relies on honesty and vulnerability.
Okay.
He calmly addresses the rumors,
Good for him.
and he reiterates his love for Tanini.
He's taking the high road.
He is.
Good.
And it pays off.
Yay.
Tanini stands by him, and eventually the family sees through Mr. Clean's tactics.
Love wins.
It does, and just when we think the drama has subsided,
There we go.
Fred drops a bombshell.
What's that?
He decides to propose.
What? In Haiti?
Yes, to Tanini.
Oh, my God.
It's this grand romantic gesture.
Wow, he's all in.
But the second part of the story ends there,
Really?
leaving us wondering, what will her answer be?
What a cliffhanger. I need to know what happens.
So Fred has just proposed to Tanini in Haiti.
Right after all that drama with Mr. Clean?
What will she say?
Oh, I can't wait to find out.
Well, her answer is unexpected.
Really?
She hesitates.
What? Why?
It seems like the weight of her past is holding her back,
Ah, I see.
especially her divorce.
Right.
She's scared to make the same mistakes again.
Well, yeah, that's understandable.
She doesn't want to rush into anything.
I mean, it shows a lot of maturity, though, that she's really thinking about it.
And Fred handles it beautifully.
Yeah.
He doesn't pressure her at all.
Okay.
He listens patiently and assures her that he understands.
Ah,
He's willing to wait.
what a great guy.
And eventually she realizes that her love for Fred is stronger than her fears.
Oh, God.
And she says yes.
Yay! But, saying yes is just the beginning.
Oh, of course.
They still have the wedding to plan.
And all the challenges that come with blending families and cultures.
It's a journey.
It is. And Fred is honest about those realities.
Okay.
He talks about the adjustments they have to make,
Yeah.
the arguments they have.
Right.
It's a very realistic portrayal of what marriage is like.
It's not always easy.
But through it all, you can see how much he loves her
Ah,
and how committed they both are to building a life together.
I love that.
It's a choice you make every day.
And it's those little moments, the quiet moments of support and understanding
Right.
that really make a relationship.
That's what makes the story so compelling.
It really is.
It's about the beauty of connection.
The unspoken things.
It reminds us to cherish the present moment.
Absolutely.
I think Fred and Tanini's story leaves us with a lot to think about.
Yeah, for sure.
Are we taking the time to listen to the bruit du silence in our own lives?
Hmm.
To really pay attention to those quiet moments where true connection happens?
Such a good point.
Well, this deep dive into Le Bruit du Silence has been a beautiful reminder that love stories don't end with a wedding,
Right. They just keep going.
and that it's in those quiet moments that true love often resides.
Beautiful. I love that deep dive.
Me too, Dimu.